What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
It's safe to say that the unforeseen pandemic that made its way around the world took many people by surprise, including the Hollywood film and television industry. You might have thought that countless TV shows and films would be canceled because of this, but several of your favorite stars continued to film amid this disastrous pandemic. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos. Songbird. While it may be a low-budget thriller, Songbird was set to become the next big movie of 2020, and it lived up to those expectations for lead writer and creator Adam Mason. Adam had been involved in several low-budget films throughout the years, including The Devil's Chair, Blood River, They Come Knocking, and others. Adam remembers that back in March of 2020, he began to panic when he learned that the majority of the country was on lockdown due to the pandemic. This put a major kink in his plans for the year and put the livelihood of himself, his wife, and their 3 children at risk. He had moved to California to start a career in filmmaking, and this had all crumbled down around him overnight. It wasn't long before he got a call from his longtime friend and filmmaking partner, Simon Boyes. Simon had an idea for a movie that could be filmed during the pandemic, but neither of them could have expected how great the film would turn out. He said that Simon approached him with an idea to film a movie as they used to in the old days. Just a few crew members and the cast were to be present during filming. They didn't expect Songbird to be the next big movie, but it certainly was. Within just 9 months, they managed to get Michael Bay on board as a producer and cast legends like Bradley Whitford, Demi Moore, Craig Robinson, and KJ Apa from Riverdale. The film takes place in the year 2023 after the coronavirus pandemic has swept across the globe, mutated, and become more deadly than anyone could have imagined. As the world was getting ready to enter some of the most damning months of the pandemic yet, many people felt as though the film was created in bad taste and that it was merely a cash-in on the illness that had claimed the lives of so many people. However, the film turned out to be great and was filmed in the midst of one of the most deadly pandemics the world has ever seen. Mason spoke about the film afterward and said, "This was a huge effort for so many people, and I think it was brave of everyone to be a part of it, just to keep working. I've been here in LA for 14 years, and it's hard not to become jaded over time. But the experience of making Songbird took me back to being in film school and that sense of adventure I used to feel in my teens and early 20s about filmmaking. I think we all felt that."
I've never met anyone like you.
I'm really glad Lester messed up that address.
After 3 and 4. It seems like it has been a very long time since we've heard from the cast of After and After We Collided. However, the crew and cast haven't been on much of a hiatus. They've been pulling long hours to film both After 3 and After 4 during the pandemic, but that hasn't come without complications. There are obviously loads of restrictions in Hollywood right now that prevent crews from filming the way they normally would. On top of this, several members of the cast didn't feel comfortable returning to the set so soon, or they simply weren't able to. While the specifics aren't known, the crew decided to part ways with several of the key actors in the series. They have now brought several cast members to the big screen, so some of your favorite actors or actresses may be absent from the upcoming films. 2Fab has reported that Shane Paul McGee, Selma Blair, Candace King, and Charlie Weber have all been removed from the final 2 films, After We Fell and After Ever Happy. The team posted to Instagram about the pandemic and the replacement actors saying, "Dear Afternators, it was important to us to finish telling Tessa and Hardin's story in a timely manner, and given the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to make some very difficult choices. At the end of the day, these choices were all in service of protecting the cast and crew and doing our best to deliver you, the Afternators, the best fans in the world, the best possible movies."
Your downward facing dog.
Did anyone ever tell you you have the most amazing bum?
Now find a partner and let's slowly...
Stranger Things 4. Is it just me, or does it seem like a lifetime has passed since the last installment of Stranger Things? I'm glad to know I'm not alone. Season 3 of Stranger Things ended all the way back in 2019, and we haven't heard much from the cast or the showrunners until now. Considering the show is based around the lives of children, it seems like the crew would want to speed up this process before the kids grow too old for the show to be believable. Either way, Gaten Matarazzo spoke about the new season and gave fans the update we had all been waiting for. He said it's definitely a slower process than usual, which is really saying something because we take our sweet time making the show anyway. So it's not as steady paced or as consistent as I think any of us would like it to be. But we do our best and we're playing it by ear. I think the most important thing is that when we're working, we're all staying safe. This statement came after Netflix announced that the show had once again begun filming in November of 2020 after we had learned more about the pandemic and knew how to best avoid cross-contamination. Stranger Things 4 was only a month into production when everything was canceled in March of 2020. The scripts have now been revised and all systems are a go, according to Netflix. We still don't know when the new season will premiere, but we are hopeful that we will get to see our favorite young stars return sometime in 2021. Hopefully. Riverdale Season 5. So we all know that Riverdale Season 5 premiered earlier this year, and we have all been dying to find out what will happen with our favorite teen heroes, or adult heroes? It's hard to keep up. Either way, I was pretty shocked to know that Riverdale had only recently begun filming the end of the 5th season in September of 2020, just a few months before the first few episodes air on the CW. These guys work fast. Riverdale creator Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa posted to Instagram and said, "After 14 days of quarantining and months of prep, Riverdale Season 5 starts shooting tomorrow. Spent the night in the bubble, reminiscing with these lovely people and celebrating Lili Reinhart's 24th birthday. How time flies. Looking forward to seeing the rest of the gang this week. Here we go." Riverdale production ended in early 2020 when the pandemic hit, which meant that Season 4 was cut short. Thankfully, the cast was able to return to continue the storyline in Season 5, which premiered in January of 2021. They've been following heaps of strict rules and guidelines to make sure everyone is safe while filming. But it seems like these guys are doing their best to give us the best season possible, given how dangerous these circumstances are. Obviously, filming during a pandemic was not easy. There were so many rules and regulations that needed to be followed by the actors and the crew, but it's amazing that these teams were still able to get together and film some of our favorite films and TV shows. I would never wish any of these actors to be put into harm's way just so I could be entertained. But the lengths these actors and crews were willing to go to make sure we got our next taste of shows like Riverdale and films like After really shows how dedicated these people are to their craft. Was hurt during all of this, and that these guys were able to do what they do best without putting their own lives at risk in the process. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.